Thanks for tuning in and welcome to In Gear. This week we test two capable Kawasaki's for the urban commuters. Then we check out the nation's premier classic car event, Asia Classica. And finally, a C-Class Mercedes that reminds you of the S-Class. Enjoy! You gotta admit it, as Malaysians, as far as motorbikes are concerned, we are spoiled for choice because we've got a lot to choose from. And here are two bikes that are perfect for those who want to graduate from the small bikes that we are all very used to something a little bit more powerful, i.e. 250cc and above. These two babies are Kawasaki's offerings for the beginners in the big bike category, the Ninja 250 as well as the Z250 SL. One is a name that has been around for a long time and it is tried, tested and proven, and the other is a new but great offering for the urban commuter who wants sporty motorbiking. So how do these two fare? Let's go and check it out. Now, the Ninja name has been around for a very long time, about 25 years to be exact, and not only is the name legendary, but so is also this lime green livery. Now, that means that this bike has a lot to live up to, especially when this is an all-new bike and it promises to bring a lot of newness to the fans of the Kawasaki brand. Now, what is new about this bike? Well, first of all, let's talk about the rigidity of the trellis frame, which of course is very well hidden under this fairing. It ensures that the bike maintains its composure at all times. That's great because it's going to have to deal with the power and torque that is delivered out of the power plant, which again is nicely hidden here. It is a 250cc parallel twin engine, which is lightweight thanks to its all-aluminium die-cast cylinders and also a host of other things such as the cranks and also the exhaust manifold and the exhaust itself being lightweight. It promises to push out a lot of power, but at the same time in a very linear and smooth way. Now, how do they do that? By having a second ECU controlled air valve controller, which means that when the airflow goes in a nice silky way, you're going to get power delivery in a nice silky way as well. Now, apart from that, in talking about comfort, right, the fairing has been designed in such a way that all the heat from the engine is dissipated out from you and away from the rider. Even when you're idle in traffic, the fans actually work in such a way that they will push out the hot air away from the rider, ensuring that you have a comfortable ride. Well, it's a great bike and it looks really good as well. But what about the other, well, urban commuter machines? Right, this bike is something else entirely. Whoops. It is smaller. It actually feels physically smaller, and immediately you feel that you can be in a much nimbler riding position, and that's the truth. Whilst the handlebar might be flat and wider, it actually gives you slightly more confidence to actually go through traffic, and that is precisely what this bike needs to do, because this is an urban commuter, and it is an urban commuter that needs to be lightweight but also with a lot of performance, hence the SL in the name. The engine, let's start with that, is a completely different unit. This is a 250cc, yes, that stays the same, but this is a single instead of the parallel twin of the Ninja 250. So when this is a single, it's been tuned in such a way that it delivers a lot more torque from the low to the mid-range. Therefore, when you're riding this bike, you're always going to be egged to go faster. You're going to be egged to, twist the throttle a little bit more, and it rewards you with urgency in the way the power is delivered to you. It just booms its way forward. And pair the power delivery pattern and also method, as well as the general lightweightness. This is of course the trellis frame, and the trellis frame is rigid and lightweight, ensuring that you get the best in performance. So with regards to the riding position, it is still fairly upright and not hunched forward, as this is of course a naked bike. So you know that you're probably going to be able to get a good riding position when you're riding in traffic. But it all boils down to, for both these bikes, how it actually feels for the buyer who actually wants to upgrade himself to the world of big bikes. So does it give you the aspirational pathway that you really want to look for when you're buying these bikes? Well, I'm going to ask a person who really knows because he rides a big bike daily to work. And he is, of course, my co-producer Ian, who'll be taking you through the entire riding experience of this entire thing. So let's go and seek him out.
As we all know, the Kawasaki Ninja 250 is made for urban commuters that want to have a look and feel like they are riding a super bike like the ZX10 or the Z6. So I think it's a good choice, like Dino said, for a person who wants to graduate from a smaller bike to who wants to have a feel at how to handle a super bike, to graduate from a smaller bike. And the handling is also good. The clutch lever, the standard clutch lever, is very friendly for those who are new getting into the bikes with clutches. I have no problem with turning, except for if you want to make a U-turn with this bike. For those who are new to bikes with fairings like the 250, you really have to slow down and get used to it, because when you turn, the handle gets so close to the tank right here, so you really have to know and get used to getting into a riding into a 250 bike. And probably the last thing I like about the bike is the sound. It comes with a Aero slip-on exhaust, I think. The sound is great. Everything is great about the Ninja. I've always loved the Ninja, and I always recommend my friends who wants to upgrade to a bigger bike to buy the 250 Ninja before they actually go on to try a bigger bike to a 600cc or 750 or a 1000cc bike. Okay, so right now I'm on Kawasaki Z250 SL, which is designed like any other naked bike that you see in the market. Well, firstly, it doesn't feel like you're riding, it doesn't give you the feel of riding a Kawasaki Ninja 250. In fact, it doesn't feel like you're riding on a 250cc bike. Okay, as far as the handling concerned, you can actually feel the vibration of the bike, especially on the handle. The handle is placed a little bit slightly lower than the Kawasaki Ninja 250, so it doesn't really give you the comfort of urban commuting. But without the fairing, turning or making turn at U-turn or at corners is so much easier than the Kawasaki Ninja 250.
Two bikes with two sets of clothes, one that has heritage written all over it, and the other, well, it's a new kid on the block. But nonetheless, both bikes are very talented and they deliver one thing for sure for the young girls and guys out there who wants to step up from the underbone bikes that Malaysia has in abundance of, and which is a urban mobility solution in terms of a bike that not only offers comfort but also a lot of performance and gusto in the way it delivers the performance to you. Two very different sets of clothes, two very different looks, but it's for the same person. It's a matter of choice between, do I want to go with something that's heritage or do I want to go with something that is looking a little bit more today. Well, both bikes are modern through and through, and yet it just boils down to the fact that you choose suit or track bottoms to work. It's all as simple as that. As far as options are concerned, you have plenty of it between these two bikes over here.